and welcome. I am Teresa and today I am repurposing a broken teacup. You can use any glue that's suitable for ceramics, and it doesn't have to be a broken teacup. You can use one that you've bought at the charity shop as well. All fixed and ready for the next step. I am using 3D matte gel from Finnabair. It's in the Art Basics range. It is a super strong acrylic gel medium, perfect for gluing heavy elements. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I am gathering some of my elements I want to glue on. I'm using a thin paintbrush to twirl the ends of the paper roses. I'm removing the stems from the mushrooms, and I gathered up a collection of different sizes of resin roses. I'm just starting to play around here and starting with the biggest rose and making a little posy of roses on the side. I'm also going to add fake moss for extra texture and to fill in some open spots. I'm just playing around with a few elements, see what will fit, what will work, what won't. I've got this memo pin that I'd really like to use sort of in the middle of the composition. I'm just going to frame it with another frame. I've got some resin elements from the Finnabair molds that I'm going to use to give it a little bit more of a steampunk feel in amongst the flowers. So these are all cogs and screws, and I've got old keys. I'm now going to start working on the composition on the inside of the cup using similar elements, resin flowers, paper flowers, the resin cogs, and some resin keys. I then add some extra moss in some open spaces before I start with the main composition with the little frame and the memo clip. To remove excess glue, I take a paintbrush, I dampen it slightly, and it is an easy way to remove excess glue that's poking out behind the elements. I really would have liked to use this padlock, but it was too big and it didn't fit in anywhere. A final few small elements just to fill in some holes. The smallest ones always come right at the end. To help the frame stand up while I'm gluing it, I'm just putting a piece of tissue paper behind it, and then I'm starting to work on the back of the cup. I'm just adding moss, paper flowers, and small elements. Once you're done gluing all the elements, you need to leave them to dry, sometimes even overnight. And then I'm going to use black gesso to paint a layer of black gesso over everything. You can use different size of brushes to get into all the nooks and crannies. So here I'm just using black gesso with a bigger brush in the larger open areas, and then I'll change to a smaller brush to get the gesso into all the nooks and crannies. Gesso is matte when dry, so once it's all dry we can move on. I hand stamped a quote on aluminium strips and folded it into a banner shape. I'm going to use 2 waxes, old denim and brushed iron. I'm starting with the blue, the old denim, and I'm covering the entire cap, making sure to get the blue wax into all the nooks and crannies, because this will be your base layer and your highlights will form on top of this. So the whole cap gets covered in blue wax. Use a smaller brush to get into all the nooks and crannies. And then I'm going to switch to the silver just now, and that is my highlighting color that I'm going to apply with my finger, and I'm only touching the areas I want to highlight, so all the protruding bits, trying not to get the silver into the recessed areas. For a little extra sparkle, I'm adding a gold minty color. It's a mint color wax with a bit of a gold shimmer to it, just to add extra pops of highlights. Now it's time to add the hand stamped quote. I'm using the 3D matte gel again, because it dries translucent. If you have a tiny bit of glue sticking out somewhere, it won't be an issue. You need to make sure that the metal has something to adhere to, because the background is very irregular. I had to manipulate the metal a tiny bit to make sure that the 2 ends had something to stick to. All done. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell for notifications of future videos.